Hello and welcome back to Glen Ives Craft Design. My name is Chastity Ives and I am bringing you two cards today with Tim Holtz inspired from his Halloween Hoopla he had recently. It was a lot of fun. I watched it with my husband and we used a lot of his techniques in a couple cards, specifically these two cards that you're going to see today. And I this is probably my new favorite thing. So we used a lot of mica stains, some stamping and coloring, some distressing. It's my kind of card. It was just all the things, and it was a lot of fun. So I hope you stick around, and I'll see you on the flip side.
All right, so if you saw my previous video where I used the witch stamp from the Monstrous stamp set from Tim Holtz, I also stamped these skull and crossbones stamps, I guess, with this intense black ink as well as a couple sentiments. So I felt like I was in a stamping sort of mood. Uh, and I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to do at the time. So that's where I did both the witch and the skull. And, you know, I already did the skull and the witch. Might as well make 4 cards. So this is 3 and 4 of 4. So it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I used the intense black ink from Simon Says Stamp just because I was gonna color in these images, and I didn't want the colors bleeding, nor did I want the ink to run as well. So yeah. Anyways, I I just got out these random Copic markers, or I guess off-brand Copic markers. I just got them off Amazon, and they work just fine. There aren't quite a few colors that are super like light, medium, dark, so I kind of have to make do with what I have, and that's perfectly fine. So after I colored in the witch, I went in with the skull and crossbones, and I took some different shades of yellow and tan to get the effect of, you know, decayed sort of bone, I guess. I mean, I've never seen a decayed bone, but I assume it's sort of brown. Yeah. Um. So, yeah, that's kind of what I went with. Um. It's my ideas, I guess. I'm also, I guess, in sort of a monochrome sort of feel, because I ended up doing the background just this on the same sort of scale with maybe like a little bit of green and a green in there, I guess. Um, but yeah, so this, yeah, kind of a decayed sort of look. And boy, do when I get into coloring, I guess I'm all up in the frame of the camera because I was really into this, and yeah, my head is gorgeous. Those gray hairs are sure doing me favors. Oh God, yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind next time. But anyways, I have this white gel pen that I've just had on hand for a while, and again, just wanted to give it something else on these skull and crossbones, um, rather than it being, you know, 2D or one dimensional looking. The white just kind of gives it a little pizzazz, I guess. Um, but yeah, I haphazardly cut these out and then went in with fine detail scissors just to really get the edges sort of cleaned up. I did that off camera just because no one really needs to watch me cut out these images perfectly. We'd be here all day. But yeah, so cut out the images, cut out the sentiments. I sort of, after I distressed these a little with some just Tim Holtz distressed oxides, I decided, I was like, you know, I need to cut these out, obviously. What if I just haphazardly cut them, and I'll just, I won't trim them. They don't need to be perfect, right? They just need to work. And after I did that, I was like, you know, that looks pretty good. I'll take it. But after I cut those out, I wanted to go back in with some vintage photo and some ground espresso to darken the edges a little, just to give it that sort of vintagey brownie look. I've been really into that lately for some reason. But yeah, did that, got those all, you know, done up and whatnot. But after doing this, I cleaned up my mat, and I was like, I've done a lot of cleaning. This is a lot of cleaning up of supplies, and I'm all here for it. But I went off and did like some Tim Holtz methods and hit method to his madness, I guess. Is I just kind of did it directly on the mat because I didn't feel like dirtying my waffle flour grip mat. I just kind of felt like just do it on the surface and then I'll just wipe it up. It'll be fine. And so that's kind of what I did with the stencil from Simon Says Stamp. Uh, this stamp set, it was really cool. If I were to change anything though about what I did, I wouldn't have done the opaque eyes. I would have done something. I should have done something else because you can't really see them after I put some spray on my background. You can't really tell that it's ghosts, or sorry, not ghosts, skulls, and ghosts, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. It's been a long day, but anyways, I I went in with this opaque grit paste from Tim Holtz. This is the second time I've used it, and very cool. It is very, very cool. Loved that. Then went in with some mica stain, some specimen, some decay, some distress oxides, just a random assortment of what I had on file. This one was a bronze spray. I went overboard probably. I should have called it a day after this one, after I wiped it down with the paper towel, because it eventually got to the point where you can't see some of the flourishes, and I think it's due to the black that I used, which is fine. It's still pretty. I still like the card. It's just I probably should have stopped, but more is more, and I love more. I I love glitter, I love gold, I love glitz, I love glamour, I love all the things, and I couldn't just leave it alone. Nor could I leave these alone, apparently, because then I went in with another like festive berries spray, um, and that was cool and kind of gave it a bloody sort of feel. And yeah, that was the first time I used that as well. I was genuinely happy with how it all turned out. Um, but yeah, kind of distressed those. Then I got some more distress oxides out and sprayed those down, sprayed those sentiments down just to age those even more. Um, but first, I kind of wanted to stamp the inside just to get that done so it could dry. Um, Went in with uh, what is that, vintage photo or tumbled twigs or something? I don't know. And just stamped the inside. And I didn't want it to be perfect on the inside. It If it fades, it fades. It's not that big of a deal. Again, it adds to the vibes of the vintage feeling. So after those backgrounds dried, I got out my Amazon foam tape that I had and used my Simon Says Stamp scissors, and I, again, just as amazed that nothing sticks to those. I I am constantly getting stuff stuck to me and or on me. Like you'll see my fingers are like just covered in sprays and inks and whatnot. But I guess that's the sign of a good or a crafter who's having lots of fun, I guess. But yeah, then got some craft glue that I've had laying around, and I decided I was going to line up the edges, the right side edge, to the background. so the sentiment right edge matches up with the background's right side edge, and then just kind of sort of tilted the skull and crossbones on the front as well. So then it just kind of gives the whole middle section its moment, I guess. And then I got out some Amazon uh, embellishments, and I got out some black iridescent sort of looking ones. And I ended up putting 5 on each card. And I was going to do 3 originally, and then I thought 7, and then I thought the better of it and just did 5. So just kind of glued those down and really admired what I did and called it a day. In case you want to make this card for yourself, I have included a picture of all of the supplies I used, and that'll do it for this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side.